Hello everyone, I'm Anuradha, Assistant Professor of English, PhD at Krishnamal College for Women, Coimbatore. Let me discuss about line by line explanation and complete analysis of the poem Astrophil and Stella, Sonnet 16, written by Sir Philip Sidney. Dear students, remain energetic to listen to this audiobook. Stay tuned.
Astrophil and Stella, 16th Sonnet, a poem. By Philip Sidney. Poem analysis and explanation with literary devices. Presented by Yara Narada, Assistant Professor of English, PSGR Krishnamal College for Women, Coimbatore, Tamil Nadu, India. Sir Philip Sidney. Author's note. Sir Philip Sidney was born on November 30th, 1554, died on October 17th, 1586. He was an English poet, courtier, scholar, and soldier who is remembered as one of the most prominent figures of the Elizabethan age. His works include a sonnet sequence, Astrophil and Stella, a treatise, The Defense of Poesy, also known as The Defense of Poesy or an Apology for Poetry, and a pastoral romance, The Countess of Pembroke's Arcadia. He died fighting the Spanish in the Netherlands at the age 31, and his funeral procession in London was one of the most lavish ever seen. Read a poem Astrophil and Stella, 16th Sonnet. By Philip Sidney. In nature apt to like when I did see beauties, which were of many carats fine. My boiling sprites did thither soon incline. And, love, I thought that I was full of thee. But finding not those restless flames in me, which others said did make their souls to pine, I thought those babes of some pin's hurt did whine. By my love judging what love's pain might be. But while I thus with this young lion played, mine eyes, shall I say cursed or blessed, beheld Stella. Now she is nommed, need more be said? In her sight I a lesson new have spelled. I now have learned love right, and learned even so, as who by being poisoned doth poison know. Tending, by nature, to like those beauties, whom I saw, who were of many carats in value. My fiery spirits soon inclined towards them. And, love, I thought that I was full of you. But finding that there was not the restless flame in me, that others said made their souls pine, I thought they were babies whining at the scratch of a pin, judging by my own pain what love's pain might be. But while I was playing like this with the lion cub, my eyes, shall I say cursed or blessed, beheld Stella. Now she is named, need any more be said? In her sight I have spelled out a new lesson. I now have learned love correctly, and learned like one who knows poison by being poisoned. Author's early life. Born at Penshurst Place, Kent, of an aristocratic family, he was educated at Shrewsbury School and Christ Church, Oxford. He was the eldest son of Sir Henry Sidney and Lady Mary Dudley. His mother was the eldest daughter of John Dudley, 1st Duke of Northumberland, and the sister of Robert Dudley, 1st Earl of Leicester. His sister, Mary, was a writer, translator, and literary patron, and married Henry Herbert, 2nd Earl of Pembroke. Sidney dedicated his longest work, the Arcadia, to her. After her brother's death, Mary reworked the Arcadia, which became known as the Countess of Pembroke's Arcadia. His brother Robert Sidney was a statesman and patron of the arts, and was created Earl of Leicester in 1618. Literary writing. Like the best of the Elizabethans, Sidney was successful in more than one branch of literature, but none of his work was published during his lifetime. However, it circulated in manuscript. His finest achievement was a sequence of 108 love sonnets. These owe much to Petrarch and Pierre de Ronsard in tone and style, and place Sidney as the greatest Elizabethan sonneteer after Shakespeare. Written to his mistress, Lady Penelope Rich, though dedicated to his wife, they reveal true lyric emotion couched in a language delicately archaic. In form, Sidney usually adopts the Petrarchan octave, rhyming such as an ABBA, next rhyming such as ABBA, with variations in the sestet that include the English final couplet. His artistic contacts were more peaceful and significant for his lasting fame. During his absence from court, he wrote Astrophil and Stella, 1591, and the first draft of the Arcadia and the Defense of Poesy. Somewhat earlier, he had met Edmund Spenser, who dedicated the shepherd's calendar to him. Other literary contacts included membership, along with his friends and fellow poets Fulke Greville, Edward Dyer, Edmund Spenser, and Gabriel Harvey, of the, possibly fictitious, Areopagus, a humanist endeavor to classicize English verse. Astrophil and Stella, poem title meaning. Astrophil and Stella is an English sonnet sequence by Philip Sidney containing 108 sonnets and 11 songs, probably composed in the 1580s. The name derives from the two Greek words, aster, star, and phil, lover, and the Latin word stella meaning star. Thus Astrophil is the star lover, and Stella is his star. Sidney partly nativized the key features of his Italian model Petrarch, including an ongoing but partly obscure narrative, the philosophical trappings of the poet in relation to love and desire, and musings on the art of poetic creation. Sidney also adopts the Petrarchan rhyme scheme, though he uses it with such freedom that 15 variants are employed. His artistic contacts were more peaceful and significant for his lasting fame. During his absence from court, he wrote Astrophil and Stella, 1591, and the first draft of the Arcadia and the Defense of Poesy. Somewhat earlier, he had met Edmund Spenser, who dedicated the shepherd's calendar to him. Other literary contacts included membership, along with his friends and fellow poets Fulke Greville, Edward Dyer, Edmund Spenser, and Gabriel Harvey, of the, possibly fictitious, Areopagus, a humanist end. Short summary of the poem Astrophil and Stella. It is a sequence of 108 sonnets, plus 11 songs, that tells the emotional journey of Astrophil, the star lover, representing Sidney, and Stella, the star, representing Penelope Rich. Astrophil becomes deeply infatuated with Stella's beauty and virtue. His love begins as admiration but grows into a consuming passion that brings both delight and torment. Astrophil tries to win Stella's affection through poetry, flattery, and emotional persuasion, yet Stella remains committed to honor and refuses to surrender to desire. Throughout the sonnets, Astrophil celebrates Stella like a heavenly light guiding his life, while also complaining about the pain of unreturned love. The sequence explores the conflict between physical desire and moral virtue, between romantic fantasy and social duty. In the end, love does not triumph. Stella rejects Astrophil's advances to remain faithful to her marriage. Astrophil is left with longing, heartbreak, and the bitter realization that his poetic passion cannot overcome Stella's virtue. Line-by-line explanation of the poem. Line 1. Tending, by nature, to like those beauties, whom I saw. In this line the author Sidney says he's naturally attracted to beautiful people, it's instinctive, not a thoughtful choice. Tending means he's disposed or inclined. Line 2. Who were of many carats in value. In this line the author compares those beauties to jewels. Many carats means they seemed precious and valuable, like high-quality gems. Line 3. My fiery spirits soon inclined towards them. In this line the author that he is too energetic, passionate in temperament, fiery spirits, quickly lean toward those attractive people. He is admitting desire springs up fast. Line 4. And, love, I thought that I was full of you. In this line the author addressing love directly, apostrophe, he confesses he believed himself to be truly in love, full of the feeling love stands for. Line 5. But finding that there was not the restless flame in me. In this line the author, however, he discovered that he didn't have that intense, constant burning passion, restless flame, that other lovers claim to feel. Line 6. That others said made their souls pine. In this line the explanation is such. Others say their passion makes them suffer and yearn, pine. He found he lacked that consuming suffering. Line 7. I thought they were babies whining at the scratch of a pin. In this line the explanation could be as. He mocked such lovers, thinking they were childish, whining at something as small as a pinprick. He believed their complaints of love's pain were exaggerated. Line 8. Judging by my own pain what love's pain might be. In this line the author give reason that. Because his own experience of attraction caused little pain, he assumed that real love's pain must be negligible. He used his own weak experience as the standard. Line 9. But while I was playing like this with the lion cub. in this line the tone gets shifts. He thought he was merely playing with love, a harmless young lion as a little cub. This image suggests a risky game, which is playful now, but it would shift into dangerous later. Line 10. Mine eyes, shall I say cursed or blessed, beheld Stella. In this line the author exaggerates as his eyes saw Stella. He wonders if seeing her is cursed or blessed, it brings both joy and torment. This parenthetical shows immediate inner conflict. Line 11. Stella, now she is named, need any more be said? In this line the author says that once he names her, Stella's identity carries everything, naming her is enough explanation. The rhetorical question implies that knowing it's Stella explains why everything changes. Line 12. In her side I have spelled out a new lesson. In this line the author is seeing Stella taught him a lesson he hadn't known before, a revelation about the true nature of love. Line 13. I now have learned love correctly, and learned like in this line the author says he's finally learned what love really is. The repetition learned stresses the completeness of his conversion. Line 14. One who knows poison by being poisoned. In this line the author describes with literary device of. A simile and metaphor could be found. Explanations such as that, he knows love as someone knows poison, by having been hurt by it. The knowledge is direct and painful, as the experience converts theory into reality. Literary devices in the poem. 1. Petrarchan sonnet structure. The poem follows the classic Petrarchan/Italian sonnet form. Octave, problem or emotional tension. Sestet, reflection or shift in thought. It uses iambic pentameter and a typical rhyme scheme, ABBA and. Next rhyming such as CD. 2. Apostrophe. Astrophil directly addresses Queen Virtue and Love as though they are living beings. This gives his internal struggle a dramatic flair. He speaks to abstract ideas like they are characters in his emotional courtroom. 3. Personification. Virtue, love, and nature act like rivals competing for Stella. Virtue tries to claim her soul. Love grabs her eyes to spark desire. Nature builds her beauty. It creates a charming tug-of-war. 4. Extended metaphor and allegory of competition. The poem becomes a contest among those forces to win Stella. Each one stakes a claim over a part of her. This metaphor dramatizes Astrophil's conflicted admiration. Virtue claims her goodness. Beauty claims her appearance. Love claims her emotional power. 5. Classical allusions. The struggle between virtue and love is inspired by the Petrarchan tradition and classical philosophy. Virtue is like a platonic guardian, while love is a fiery Cupid-type figure. 6. Antithesis, opposition of ideas. Sidney loves a good tension. Soul versus senses. Moral virtue versus passionate love. This sharp contrast boosts the emotional stakes. The different types of themes as follows. 1. The pain and pleasure of unrequited love. Astrophil burns with desire for Stella, but she refuses him. Love becomes a paradox. Happiness in her presence, misery in her refusal. The sequence thrives on this emotional push and pull. 2. Conflict between passion and virtue. Stella represents virtue, chastity, and moral duty. Astrophil represents passionate longing. Their interaction becomes a battle. Honorable restraint versus romantic temptation. Inner discipline versus emotional chaos. 3. Idealized beauty and the power of the gaze. Stella's beauty is shown as heavenly and transformative. Astrophil falls not through reason but through his eyes, which betray him to love. Beauty is both an inspiration and a dangerous force. 4. Poetic inspiration and creativity. Astrophil believes Stella is his muse. Desire fuels his imagination. The poems become a testament to how love creates art, even when love itself is painful or hopeless. 5. Love as suffering, Petrarchan tradition. Astrophil sees himself as the classic courtly lover. Complaining. Longing. Praising the beloved's cruelty. His suffering becomes proof of love's authenticity. 6. Internal conflict and self-awareness. Astrophil often recognizes his behavior is irrational. He mocks himself, argues with himself, negotiates with himself. The mind becomes its own battlefield. 7. Social duty versus personal desire. Stella is a married noblewoman. Honor and social norms forbid Astrophil's pursuit. The sonnets reflect the tension between a strict society and passionate individuals. 8. Love as moral transformation. Through love, Astrophil gains deeper knowledge of himself. Even though the ending is tragic, love teaches him emotional and spiritual lessons. Thank you so much for patient listening to this audiobook, and stay tuned till we collaborate with another audiobook. Bye bye, take care. Have a great day ahead. See you guys.